all peace and blessings. So I know I said I was gonna make a video every day, like 2 to 3 for the Zodiac album, but I'm lazy, okay, and I prefer sleep than doing this. No offense to you guys. I just didn't have the motivation to do it. I was just like, I'm tired of everything and everyone. Didn't feel like doing it. But the point is that I'm doing it now. That's all that counts. Like, that's all that matters, okay? Anyways, moving forward, this video is going to be about Taurus. And y'all, had to switch my page because tell me why I was recording this video and then my alarm for class going to come up. And in the video while I'm talking. How disrespectful, Like, don't nobody care about that class right now? Like, my alarms just be popping up at the wrong times. But anyways, Taurus. What about Taurus? Taurus is a second zodiac sign, so it's ruled by the second house, which deals with values and pleasure and things of that nature. The energy signature behind Taurus, basically. And Taurus is a feminine sign, as an air. An air sign is how ether comes from fire. It is made logical through air, and it's practicalized through earth and taken back to ether through water, which is emotions. So Taurus, from an element perspective, Taurus would be a rock, stubborn nature. If you know a Taurus, they like to do things how they want to do things, and they don't like you to advise them. They may know what to do or may not know what to do, and still won't want you to advise them. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, my brain and my mouth are just not in sync right now. Like, I just can't explain it. Like, I'm already talking and my mouth feels worn out, but it's okay. Wait, well, scratch that. Scratch that. Okay, so they're slow at doing things because they're like a rock. So when you want to understand a zodiac sign, think of the nature of it. So if Aries is gas, that means they're spontaneous, ever ready to do things. Okay, so Taurus at this point is a rock. They're stable, practical, being that it is an earth sign. It is an earth sign, not an air sign. I said air sign as to break down the little metaphysic thing. But anyways, they're dedicated at achieving what they want to do at the end of the day. And when those things are completed, they're there to stay. It's balance, and they like to be very practical and balanced. And they touched all angles and needed to touch to get to that goal or to complete things, and very experienced about it, being the fact that it is an earth sign. Earth sign is a feminine sign, so they deal with more of looking at things from a patient and practical perspective. Okay, guys, I got the journal because not off the dome yet. Not off the dome yet. Good traits about Taurus, they're givers. They like to give, and they like to care for people, and they're material givers though. So for example, if a Taurus likes you, they would like buy you things, that you might not even buy for yourself, but it's okay. They give you things that are value to them. This is how they show that they like you. That's how they show that you're of value to them too, by giving things that are of value to them. So Taurus is material, earth. So if they don't like you, they take things away from you, or they don't give you anything at all. Okay, that's how Taurus are. And they're not so emotionally present. They're not so, like, if you're in a relationship, they're not going to be like, oh, I love you and blah blah, so they're not going to be much of the smooth, not smooth talker, but how can I say, much of expressing feelings through, like, verbally, and like, all ushy gushy. I guess they're gonna be looking at you like, okay, they're an earth sign, so they're earth sign, so rock is not really dealing with emotions. That type of emotional nature might come from a fire sign or water sign, because they're fluid in the senses of the emotions, because love is something that's constantly in motion. It doesn't mean that Taurus is incapable of love or anything like that. It's not like that, not at all. They're just more so of the sense of pleasure. So it's more like they had the attitude of like, what can you give me? And more like the material type of love, more stiff love. So Taurus focuses on what material gains can be, basically. Uh, Taurus is ruled by heart chakra. Also Libra is ruled by the heart chakra. Um, why do I keep saying That's actually blowing me. Taurus is ruled by Venus. So they're lovers. They're givers, but the way they express love is by giving you things. They have a different like expression of love, even though they are from, well, not are from Venus, but they are ruled from Venus. Venus, the planet of love and everything. So when a Taurus appreciates you, they give you things. Oh my gosh, what if I got the devil in my head? Ooh, I did not mean to cuss. Don't listen. Negative traits. They're very stubborn. They don't like to listen or take heat from anyone else's advice. All fixed signs, they show stubborn attributes, stubborn in a positive and a negative way. So negative would be you don't want to listen or pay attention to signs and mistakes. In a positive way, they're really dedicated to do what they want. For another example of negative way for being stubborn, say if you're a Taurus and you're in a relationship, and or you're about to get in a relationship, or you're fond of someone and you want to make that person close, but say your mother or something, she sees signs that you don't already, like she's dealt with a person like that and knows that they're not good for you and the type of person you are, you know and she tells you this, and you're just like, oh well, I don't really care what you say, because like I feel like I know them, or I want to get to know them, or they're gonna be a good thing in my life, and then they end up being a bad thing. And it's not like a Taurus would be like, oh well, I'm gonna look back and be like, well, my mother did tell me this. They're going to take that experience and carry it on to them. So they don't like it when people come to them and give them advice, or tell them about their experience, because they're like, no, I'm not you, and I have my own like sense of this, so this won't happen to me if I do this, or blah blah blah. But at the end, they learn from their own mistakes, not other people's. Basically, what I'm getting at. So, towards being a rock, stubborn in a fixed sign, they don't like to listen or learn from their well, sometimes they don't like, some Taurus don't like to listen or learn from their mistakes. They learn from their experiences, but they don't want to learn from you, like I said, because it's a feminine sign, and a feminine nature makes them feel or be more an emotional side in some way. So though it's an earth sign, so what I mean by like emotional in some way, they might not be emotional in like a relationship aspect, but with things close to them, they might put their emotions into that, and can also affect them in a negative or positive way, just like anybody else. But some things matter more to different signs or different people, and towards they just don't, different things that matter to them that can affect them emotionally, basically. So Taurus knows how to manifest things by putting it in their heart, okay? And because they're ruled by a heart chakra and the planet Venus, Taurus, they don't need to work so hard, as long as they can put themselves in a state of a heart chakra vibrations, which is love frequency. They can manifest a lot of things well. Okay, so you find Taurus is very rich simply by the fact that they know how to manifest things by being patient and being able to love. That's one of their powers, being able to express love in a different / certain way. Taurus are a sex sign, so they like pleasure. I know we don't want to talk about this, but Taurus are a very sexual sign. They like pleasure. Their whole thing is pleasure and value. So if you're in a relationship with a Taurus and you don't want to do sexual things, that Taurus is going to be like, do you expect me to stay with you? Like, you know what I'm saying? You catch my drift. They're not gonna be as interested anymore, because that's something that they want. That's something that pleasures them, and they really into pleasure. And what else is there? Just okay. So Taurus have their polarities. Okay, just like any other signs. There's not necessarily good and bad. There's just like good and bad to a certain degree. You get what I'm saying? So Taurus like pleasure. So if you want a Taurus to like you, you have to give. And it has to be something that is tangible. It's something that they can see. Because Taurus vibrate more when they see it, because it's material, and they like material things. And all the earth signs respond more to material sense of results, because they're earth signs. Earth is more dense, so they like dense things. Okay, so if you come to a Taurus in your relationship and you're like, oh, I love you so much, and I done wrote this poem for you, and you just make singing for them, they're gonna look at you like you're crazy, because they're gonna be like, they don't have that, they don't really like that, they don't really care for that sense of verbal affection, I guess you would say. They don't really they go for more material things, because they like very dense things, I guess you would say. And that's just how a Taurus like feels love. That's how they feel love, when you give them things, because they're constantly giving, you know, whether it's giving in emotional aspect, so they're giving you love, so they expect this in return, you know, you get what I'm saying. So when you're talking from a frequency perspective, the Taurus is or resonates more with the theta frequency waves. And theta wave is a frequency state, so don't be thinking, oh, like theta wave, you're only in that energy. No, it's just a frequency state. There are ways of understanding everything based upon its frequency, its element, its colors, its shapes, its dimensions. You know, everything has forms, everything has its modalities, or a set of numbers that in different dimensions or realms of reality attributes to certain things. So the frequency perspective of where you see elements, Taurus is more on the theta wave state. You know, theta deals with more of practicality. So when information comes from beta and is made sense out of by alpha, theta now practicalizes. Okay, and that's all for Taurus. I hope you all have an understanding about yourself and your sign, and if not, I hope you have an understanding of someone else of this sign, and this information gives you a sense of self, because you know it's really important to understand your sign. Well, yes, it's really important to understand your sign and your astrology. It's like learning your heritage, you know? Because how can you know where you're going if you don't know where you come from, if you don't know where you're made of? And it really helps, and you can use like this information as tools, so you know why you feel a certain way about things. You know why you think a certain way. You know why you do things a certain way, because it plays into your actions. You know, it plays in all to your three minds: your unconscious mind, your subconscious mind, and your conscious mind. And you know, it all starts with conscious behavior. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, press that post notification for when I post another video. And I'm now moving on to Gemini, and I'll see you guys on the flip side. Okay.